Hey artists, welcome back. Okay, so for today, you will need either glue like this, okay, a glue stick. I have my worksheet that I'm referring back to. I grabbed all of my paper sculptures, lines that I created to go with my worksheet, and I have those all set aside. And then you can choose, I'm gonna do a black base. So I grabbed a piece of paper for my base. You can do white if you would like. Probably not something in color because you want your sculpture form to stand out. So if you remember, forms are three-dimensional. So we're going to take our lines and we are going to make them 3D. You can start with any line you want. I'm going to pick one of my arches to start with. So I am going to take my glue stick and I'm gonna glue the bottom of my paper just like that. And I'm going to attach it to the base of my sculpture, so my black piece of paper. Also, don't forget to write your name. You might want to do that now. I forgot to write my name. So, just like in class, you're going to want to put your name on your paper. Okay. All right, so I glued both edges, stuck them down to my paper. Remember how when we talked about with sculpture or with your arches, you can make them thinner by putting the base closer together like this. I can make them wider by pulling them apart, okay? So I am going to attach this one, I think, onto the red part. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue again on both of the tabs that I put down, pushed down when I folded it, and I'm going to attach this onto my red arch. And I'm gonna do those a little bit closer together so it's taller. Okay, so now you can see how I am starting to create form with my lines connecting and a variety of lines. You can make your sculpture any way you want, so you can attach things to the base. You can see how tall you can build it up. Sometimes these start, if they get too top heavy, they start falling over. So I'm gonna attach a couple of my zigzags, because if you remember, I said I had 4 sisters, so I had to make a lot of zigzags. I'm going to attach one of my zigzags underneath my red arch. So I attached one side to the bottom here, to my black piece of paper, and the other side I'm gonna attach inside, okay? So you're gonna go through and you're gonna do this for all of your lines, okay? You don't have to attach them together, all of them together. If you don't want, you can attach more to the base, okay? You can attach them onto each other. The more you attach, the more glue you might need, okay? I am gonna do my purple spiral. And sometimes spirals you have to attach multiple times or together. So so they stay a spiral. And I'm gonna attach that inside my green arch. So you can see how I took the tab or the end of my purple, I glued it, attached it there. I might even put a little bit more glue on the inside of my circle and attach it again. So it stays a spiral, and then I'm gonna attach it inside. And if you remember in our first lesson, we talked about how Frank Stella, who inspired all our sculptures, is an abstract sculptor. Okay, so it doesn't actually have to look like anything when you're done, and you can see how that has started falling over. So my options to keep it standing up, if I wanted that green part to stand up, might be to give it some support by attaching something underneath it, or pull it back like this. Okay, so I'm gonna do another one of my yellow arches. Again, I'm putting glue on both the tabs that I folded down. And then I'm gonna connect that back to my black base. And then I want that to stand up a little bit more, so I'm gonna give it more support over here by doing a pink zigzag on the other side. So like I was saying, these don't have to look like anything because our artist that we talked about was abstract. Okay. So he made sculptures that didn't look like reality or realistic. We're just focusing on lines, shapes, and form. Sorry about that, I must be getting a message. All right, I have an orange spiral that I'm gonna add here to the middle. So I'm gonna take and I'm gonna add glue here. And depending on how many you have and whether or not you used the easier one or you have tabs, you might need to start using your school glue, the Elmer's, for more support. It tends to hold up better than a glue stick. But if yours doesn't have a lot of lines, your glue stick should continue working, okay? You can see I added my orange spiral there to the middle. Okay, and then I have, remember I have all these pink zigzags I have to add. So I might even connect them to make an organic shape. Remember, our organic shapes are the ones that don't have names. So I'm gonna take my line, and you can do this with any one of your lines, and connect it so I have a shape or a form. Once it becomes three-dimensional, it's a form. I'm going to connect that here in the middle. So I'm gonna need some more glue here. Okay. And remember how I said if you are using worksheet 3, you might be having a harder time gluing your paper down. This one, because it's all bendy, is having a harder time, so that's when you would use your liquid glue. Okay. Well, I have 3 more to add. I have my blue spiral, my purple arch and my pink arch, or my one more pink zigzag. Okay, so I am going to glue on my purple arch here. Because I want all of my forms to stand out and be separate, I'm trying to put colors next to each other that aren't necessarily the same. That also helps with variety. Remember how we talked about variety means different? And I'm gonna add a little bit of glue here to the inside of my purple arch to attach my pink zigzag to. Once my lines are connected, they become shapes, and because this is 3D sculpture, now I have form. All right, it's getting a little bit big. I'm gonna tilt my can. And I'm gonna do that here on the top. Hopefully it'll hold up. And I'm gonna leave that one hanging so it has a little variety and doesn't look as attached. And then I'm going to, because it looks like my sculpture is about to fall over a little bit this way, I'm gonna attach my last pink zigzag to the back to help with support. So I'm gonna do the pink zigzag. Coming off of the back of my sculpture, because you can see how it's tilting forward. Extra support by attaching this one back to the base. Okay. All right. So there's my sculpture. Okay, inspired by Frank Stella. Remember how we talked about form, movement, and line. Okay, so everything should be attached when you're done. See how I can move it around a little bit. It's not super sturdy, but it moves. It has dimension. So now I have an abstract sculpture. Please make sure that when you are done, you take a picture, include which worksheet you worked from. Okay, these will be numbered in the comments, so let me know which one you worked from, because it will help me get to know you a little bit. All right, don't forget to upload or attach a photo or a video of you with your sculpture. I look forward to seeing what you all made.